to see the teddy bear are here to play. If you don't come play with us, then we will kill you.
Ava finally moved on to the last shelf of the library, reshelving the newly dusted books onto the freshly cleaned shelves. It was cleaning day, the one day out of the month where everyone worked together to deep clean the entire treehouse. Well, more like tree mansion. Despite its intense magic and ability to expand or protect whenever it wanted to, the one thing it lacked was being able to clean itself. Ava's own magic and enchantments weren't enough to keep the place clean, so instead, every month, everyone divided into a different section of the treehouse to clean. Ava always seemed to get stuck with the library and cellar storages. At least she didn't have to clean the armory, though. Luckily, Vic seemed to enjoy doing that. Something about being around so many deadly weapons spiritually heals her, or something. Anyway, Ava wasn't completely powerless when it came to cleaning the treehouse. She was still able to use her limited spells and powers to assist her, especially with the hard stuff. Ah, thank you. She smiled as an enchanted branch handed her a book. She balanced on another branch that stretched up to the higher shelf where she worked. Somewhere else in the library were several other enchanted branches and roots helping in the organization of the library. Just then, Kyle burst through the library doors, shouting Ava's name. Ava yelped and jumped, causing her to nearly fall backwards, but luckily the branch that she stood on readjusted itself, letting Ava regain her balance. She sighed and glanced down at the deadly drop before her. "Kyle, what on planet Gem are you doing? You scared the ghost right out of me!" Ava exclaimed as the branch carefully lowered her to the ground. She stepped off of it. "I'm sick and tired of this stupid house," Kyle complained as he attempted to shake himself dry. He flicked a piece of seaweed off of his shoulder and pulled another piece off of his head. "Since when did we even have an aquarium?" Ava sighed again. Kyle was always complaining about the treehouse being creepy. "Be quiet," Ava warned, glancing around. "The treehouse has feelings, you know." Kyle groaned at this and threw himself to the floor. "That's what I'm talking about. This place is creepy." "Look," Ava crouched down next to him. "I know the treehouse may seem like some sort of creepy haunted castle, but in reality it's just a sentient magic being with advanced supernatural powers that allow it to shift and change and create new things whenever it wants to." Kyle looked at her, his frown deepening and his brow arching. Ava laughed awkwardly. "Well, I suppose putting it like that, it does sound a bit haunted. But it's not. You're just imagining things, okay? Now, go finish cleaning your area. It's almost time for dinner." With that, Ava left Kyle alone in the library. He shuddered as he glanced around the large room. The treehouse groaned and creaked as it settled. He sighed and stood. Maybe Ava was right. Kyle had never lived in such an enchanted or even vivid place. Heck, he was raised in an underground compound and then lived another 10 years in an abandoned jail. Maybe he just wasn't used to such a nice place. Kyle let out another breath before heading towards the library doors. But before he could reach them, they suddenly slammed shut by themselves. Kyle yelped and jumped backwards. The ground suddenly began shaking, and Kyle watched in horror as the shelves shook and books began falling off them. The floorboards groaned and cracked, opening up like hungry mouths with sharp teeth. Kyle shrieked again and dashed through the bookshelves, covering his head with his arms as he ran. He tried to run to the back doors, but they were locked too. Soon he got lost in the shelves and became cornered in a dead end. The shaking and groaning stopped, and Kyle watched in paralyzed fear as a strange glow began emerging from around the corner. "I'm sorry," he sobbed. "I didn't mean to offend you, Great Treehouse." The light grew closer. "Please, I'll do anything. I'll even clean the whole treehouse by myself next time." The light only grew closer. "Just please, don't kill me." Kyle let out a final shriek before shutting his eyes tight and covering his head. "Boo!" Vic shouted as she threw the sheet over Kyle. "Oh my gosh, you should have seen your face!" Kyle quickly pulled off the sheet, looking dumbfounded at Vix, who was now cackling. "Vix? What the heck?" "All right, what's going on?" Eva emerged from around the corner looking displeased. Vix composed herself and managed out, "I was just scaring Kyle." Before she could say more, the shelf behind Kyle suddenly wobbled and a book fell from the top shelf. Vix gasped, and Kyle instinctively covered his head again. Ava acted quickly and shot out her hand, controlling a large branch to protect Kyle from the falling book. Said book bounced off the branch and fell to the floor harmlessly. Ava relaxed, and the branch slowly retreated. Vix slowly uncovered her mouth and snorted out a "I'm sorry." Ava sighed and moved her hand to control the branch, to pick up the book and toss it at Vix. She yelped and managed to catch it. "You will be," Ava growled. "You're going to clean this mess up." "What?" Vix exclaimed. "But I was almost done with the armory." "Well, you should have thought about that before you messed up all my hard work." Vix grumbled and folded her arms. "How'd you control the shelves and ground like that?" Kyle asked. Vix looked at him. "What?" "The shelves and the floorboards. They started shaking and the floor opened up all like. How'd you do it?" Vix furrowed her brow. "I didn't do that. I just wore the sheet and chased you around the library. I knocked some books over, but I didn't shake the whole shelves." Vic's confused look turned into a cruel grin. "You must have been so scared you imagined that." "No, Cal stopped. He knew he didn't imagine it, but he couldn't say anything or else Vix would just make fun of him. Ava sighed for what felt like the 50th time that day. "Come on, we could all use a break. But Vix, you're cleaning this all up when you're done." Vix rolled her eyes and followed Ava out of the library. Kyle paused and looked back at the large room one last time, then slowly shut the doors behind him.